Hello and welcome to episode 260 of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. I'm your host, John Mansfield. Today we're starting a new series. This is a little mini-sode series that I'm going to be dropping every other week for probably the next 5 or 6 episodes. But in between, we'll still have our interviews, but then every other week is just going to be me with a little snack-sized episode of Wisdom and the Tangents. This came about, the idea for this mini-sode whole series came about from last week. If you may remember, I had Miles Whitboyer on the show, and we were talking about how we don't see a lot of education for creatives, for photographers especially, that is focused on money. We see a lot about how to make your first 100K or hit 5-figure months and that kind of money type talk, but not really how to manage your money, how to set up bank accounts, how to budget for your business, how to invest your money, and how to actually manage the things instead of just, bring in money and hope that I have enough to pay taxes at the end of the year. So that's what we're doing. And at some point, Miles was just like, maybe you should do this. And I remember it just like it was last week.
Nobody's out there teaching that stuff. Maybe we need to. John, maybe you need to, buddy.
I will do it. So this is me doing it. This is me, maybe I will, ing this show. So these mini-sodes are going to be 5 to 10 minutes, hopefully. I know I'm already a couple minutes into this just explaining it. So this one will be a little bit longer, probably. You're going to find yourself somewhere in these episodes, whether you just started your business or you are a seasoned professional and you're like, ooh, I actually don't know how to invest my money or save for retirement or savings or any of that kind of stuff. And today we're going to talk about bank accounts, how to actually keep your money and organize it. Because a lot of us, whenever we start, people are just paying us on Venmo or Cash App or Zelle or something. And they're just like, hey, here's $50. Can you take pictures of my family? Or I want to hire you for a wedding. Here's a couple $100. And it's just side cash, almost like selling something on Facebook Marketplace or something. You're just like, all right, cool. I'll just put this in my personal account. And then eventually you start your business and you've had all this in your personal account, but it's like having everything in a junk drawer. Everyone's got that junk drawer that's in your kitchen or office or something that's just, it's got everything in it. You've got rubber bands. You've got condiment ketchup packets from takeout. You have loose stick matches. You have twisty ties. You've got all sorts of things, just like quarters and coins. And there's probably one of those ketchup packets that has just exploded in there, and you don't want to have to deal with any of the things in there. But it's just a catch-all. It is a place to just throw everything. That's kind of what it's like when you have your personal and your business in the same account. Everything's just in there. And it is a nightmare at the end of the year. Whenever you hand that over to your CPA, which, to be honest, if you have everything in your personal account, you're probably not hiring a CPA. So you're just making more work for yourself at the end of the year, which is why you dread tax season, because it's just I have to filter through all of this and figure out, okay, I went to this coffee shop on this day. Was this taking out a client to talk about their wedding? Or was this, I just wanted a coffee, so I went to this coffee shop? And then you've got to try and figure out all of that. And let's hope you don't get audited. But let's not do this. This is the beginning. This is where a lot of us start. Let's move on from there. No more junk drawer, at least no more personal and business junk drawer together. I'd say option 2 would be splitting your personal and your business expenses, or your personal and your business accounts. So you have all your personal stuff over here. That's anything that you get paid, anything that you pay yourself from your business, anything that, like, little, like, working on Fiverr or DoorDash or whatever other little side gigs you have, that's your personal stuff. And then you have all of your business. That's where anyone who is paying you to take photos of them, that's where this money goes. This is option one, or I guess option two. Option one was the junk drawer. We don't want that. Option two is this, which is kind of like an office junk drawer. It's got pins and all the things, but it's all business related. It's just all in one account. This is not what I would recommend, but it is like a first step. So if you don't want to do option three, which we'll get to, which is like multiple accounts, this is at least you need to do this. Which, in order to open a business account, you do need an EIN, which is your employee identification number. I believe that's what it stands for. That's what it makes sense, or employer identification number. I don't know. You get it whenever you sign up, register. That's the word. You get it whenever you register for like a DBA, doing business as, where you can file your taxes as you're doing business as this business, but you're not like a corporation or LLC just yet. So either of those, you're going to have your EIN. That will help you whenever you're starting a business or opening a business account. You need that EIN to make it business and not personal. So let's talk about that business account. This is going to have all of the things in it. All of the income that you're bringing in is in this account. All of your expenses going out in this one account. It's better because it is separated from your personal, but it's not the best option because it's still just everything is all together. It's still kind of a junk drawer itself. It's like a messy office. You have everything in there, but sometimes it takes a little bit to remember exactly where you put that one notebook that you wrote notes in. You're like, I need these notes. I don't remember where I put them. Was it on this bookshelf? Is it in this drawer? Did I just throw it on the floor back here? I don't know. So this is like, we've upgraded from the junk drawer to just a messy office at this point. Which, if you're in the junk drawer stage, at least upgrade to the messy office, please. But let's talk about moving forward from messy office to like having Marie Kondo come in and just organize everything for you. And you have compartments, you've got, clear drawers that pull out all the way and don't get stuck on things. It's like, where everything is. You have labels on all of the stuff. It is very convenient. This is the third option, which is multiple accounts. I would recommend at least 3, if not 4 business accounts. And I can talk about first we'll talk about what each of those does. And then we can talk about where you can open those up. So 1, you're going to have your expense account. This is all of your day-to-day stuff, your monthly memberships for Adobe software or Flowdesk or whatever you're using, your monthly memberships, the ones that are coming out all the time. You put this in the expense account so you can budget and see every month I need X amount of dollars in this account to pay all of these things. That's what this expense account is. And this is also for buying new gear. You can have a little extra money in there for every few months or so, that you can spend X amount on new gear or continuing education, going to a conference or booking a workshop or doing something like that. Then you have that expense account. Your next account is the payroll account. This is where you put a portion of your money over for paying yourself, for paying any contractors, any second shooters, any content creators, anyone who, if you have an associate team, if you have a videographer or videographers on your team, this is where you're going to pay them their money. So whenever you get that retainer in, you're putting a portion of that over into the payroll account. Whenever you get that final payment in, you're putting that portion over into the payroll account. That way, you're not accidentally spending your payroll money on like the newest lens, which I know that 24 to 70 f2 looks great. However, if you don't have you don't want to like pull money from your PayPal, you don't want to pull money from your payroll when you have a second shooter that's like, hey, are you going to pay me for last week's wedding? You're like, no, but I can take pictures of you with my new lens. So we want to have that separate. It just makes it so much easier. You can also link that second account to like Gusto. I use Gusto for payroll. It's super easy and I love it. It's direct deposit, so you don't have to worry about like sending stuff through PayPal or Venmo or carrying cash on you to pay your second shooters. It's all just set up. I can tell it what day I want it to deposit into their account, and then it will do that. So highly recommend Gusto. I also have a I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly the discount, but I have an affiliate link for that. I will put that in the show notes for you if you need that. So we have expenses drawer, we have payroll drawer, we have another account that is your tax savings. Now, this is where I recommend just throwing 30% in there from anything you get, just right into that account. I love having this account in a separate bank. So little bit about like where to do these things. I like having the expense account as like my normal bank that I have my personal stuff through. I go through a credit union. I like doing credit unions instead of like big national banks. But having your expenses account be a checking account, because just it's there, it's easy. You got a debit card, you can connect that. Super simple. The payroll can be a savings account in your normal bank if you want. That way you can just like easily move that over. This tax savings, I would recommend opening a high yield savings account, which if you haven't heard of that, yes, you probably have, because I have Sofi as a partner of this podcast, and that ad where I go like, I didn't know this until I was in my 30s. That's what this is about. If you just like skip through that once you hear me talking, that's what what that ad is about. And I love Sofi. It is free to set up an account. Actually, if you use my affiliate link, you get an extra $25 put in your account whenever you open it up. But actually, it is a savings account just like any other savings account. But instead of earning like 0.01 to 0.04% interest as you keep your money there, which, to just kind of give you dollar amounts, if you have $10,000 in your savings account, 0.04 interest is $4. Is that right? Math. I'm gonna math it real quick. $4. Look at that. Okay. So that regular savings account is getting you $4 for having $10,000 in there. Now, high yield savings accounts, they range anywhere from like, I've seen the low end of like 1.8% to the high end of like 4 plus. I think we were at like 4.2 at a good time. So like high end of both of those, you're looking at the difference between 0.04% in a traditional savings account, getting you $4 annually for having $10,000 in there, to a high yield, which is 4+% on the high side, which 4% of $10,000 is $400. So that's a big difference. They are paying you $4 to keep your 10,000 versus $400 to keep your 10,000 over the year. So I love a high yield savings account for tax savings, because tax savings you want gone. you want a way. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know how much money I have over there, because if I know how much money I have over there, I want to spend it because there are things that I want to buy. So I like to have that in SoFi, where I'm not opening up SoFi every week and like organizing stuff or seeing what I have in my account like I would with my normal bank account. I'm not seeing that. I'm just transferring over to SoFi, and it is building interest every month. And it's great to just sit there. That way, at the end of the year, you have all of that tax savings plus the interest that it is accrued already ready to pay all of your stuff in April. You don't have to worry about it. And you might even have a little bonus at the end of that. And that last little drawer that Marie has helped you to organize and get rid of the things that don't spark joy. This is your emergency fund. This is like a little, you've got emergency fund plus kind of like extras. If you have, a percentage that goes to payroll, you have your percentages that go to your monthly expenses, like your fixed accounts and all of that. If you don't know these percentages, by the way, I have a cost of doing business calculator that can help you figure out exactly what all that is. And you can plug in all those numbers. It can have it there and show you like what actually you should be charging for your wedding packages too. So I will link that in the show notes as well for today. But this emergency fund is, you want to have a little bit extra for like the slow months, or a little bit extra for maybe you get sick. I know I got COVID a couple years ago, and I had to hire one of my associates to photograph a wedding for me. And that was, thankfully I had like my payroll in my payroll account to where I could just turn that and send it over to her instead. But also I had to like dip into that emergency fund because it was, extra expenses that I wasn't expecting whenever I got sick. So your regular expenses, this is one account. Second account, payroll account, your regular savings. Then your third one is your tax savings account, a good high yield savings account. And then your emergency fund, which SoFi also has checking accounts that you can open for free. I have one there that is my like emergency fund kind of overflow. It also accrues interest, which is great. Most checking accounts do not. So having that fourth account over there, both of those, the emergency fund and the tax savings, I like having in a separate account where I don't have to see them because I will spend them, like I said. So that is it for today's episode. This was a little bit longer than 5 to 10 minutes, but this is the beginning of the series. Next episode of this series is going to be all about your cost of doing business and walking through figuring out all of that and how to like determine if you're actually making a profit in your business or if you're just like skating by. So thanks again for listening. Check out all of those links in the show notes for Gusto, for SoFi, for the cost of doing business calculator. They're all super helpful and things that I use in my business every single day. I will see you next week. Keep creating and keep making the world a better place. Oh, that was close. I almost got it this time. All right. I should really write it and just like have it up on the monitor over here. That'd be easy, but we're not doing easy things. See you guys next time. Bye, y'all.